Huge good morning to you, everyone. Welcome to the final round of the ERC for 2024. We have traveled to 7 destinations, and we're now at our final spot of rallying in Europe for this year. Welcome to Rally Silesia. Welcome to Poland, everyone. I'm Bex Williams, ready to talk you through our qualifying session here. And alongside me, I have 8-time world champion co-driver Julien Ingrassia.
Good morning, everyone. Dzień dobry.
Good morning to you, Julien Ingrassia. These are our defending champions who have just headed off the line, Hayden Padden and John Kennard. And these are the crew that could well take the title this weekend. They are our championship leaders. Huge weekend for Hayden and John out there.
Yeah, that's cool. Grab the title, but it's never done before the last finish line. We know how it is in rally. And when we see the conditions on the ground, a bit muddy, some chicanes, a new tarmac event for almost everybody, except probably some Polish drivers there. The task is not, the duty is not yet done, I would say, for Padden and his co-driver. So, of course, we used to have them very calm inside the car. You know, the face of Hayden Padden is always very, relaxed and under control. Probably they have some good reasons to be relaxed also this weekend, no stress necessary. But we have to avoid the tricks, and just previously, and we will speak about it maybe a bit later, we have seen here on this qualifying stage on the free practice, actually, just before that, Philippe Allen that was crashing and falling into a ditch. So you can see that you can make a mistake very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Hayden and for John this weekend, it is almost hands on the title for them. But as Julien Ingrassia rightly said, and he's been in this position many times before, it isn't over until it's over. This is a tricky event to round off the season. As you mentioned as well, not a huge amount of experience for a lot of the drivers here. For Maric, this is a rally he's won twice before, so he has that experience. But for the likes of Hayden and John, it's all new to them. And you will discover this rally along with us this weekend. We'll be broadcasting every single stage live, and we'll find out who will win the championship title and who will win the final round of the season. But that is Hayden Padden through on the first qualifying run. Remember, qualifying decides road position for the event this weekend. And given the weather forecast, that could be pretty interesting. We'll talk about that in a moment, though. Let's hear from Hayden.
Hayden, good morning. Your pace was fantastic in Ceredigion, but different character of rally here. How's the pace been so far?
It's a different approach as well. Wales, it was a sort of all or nothing rally for us. Here was a sort of obviously we need to push to keep the rhythm, but a no risk type approach. And it's a tricky rally, but looking forward to tomorrow. And okay, this is not relevant at all to the rally. There's a lot of mud and stuff in here, which I don't think we'll see as much of tomorrow. So yeah, just a nice clean run today. We don't want to be first on the road. We want to be somewhere in the middle somewhere. So we'll see how the time stacks up.
Why is that?
I can't give away all my tricks, but hey, look, there's so many handicaps on this rally. I don't think there'll be so much pollution come out. And if you're a little bit further behind, you can just watch what others are doing as well.
That's interesting, isn't it? You know, he doesn't want to be the first man out there tomorrow on the road. I'm going to be intrigued to see who is. But also, he mentioned not a lot of cutting actually on the rally, whereas on this stage it is quite muddy, especially at the beginning.
Yeah, so we have to say that this qualifying stage that we are watching right now is not exactly what we will have during the rally itself. The profile of the stages will be quite different, I would say. But still, the very first corner of this stage for sure is full of mud already. And it has been raining the whole night, so it will remain damp and humid in many places, especially the one undercover. And there is 0.7 of a second gap in between Franceschi and Padden. This is a crew that has to push this weekend, that has to put the pressure on everyone.
Yeah, second in the championship for Franceschi, and for him, he has to do everything, whereas Hayden says, no risk for me, I don't want to take risk, and Franceschi's completely the opposite.
He said no risk, but still having a good rhythm or something like this. And this is very important. We will speak about it after Franceschi words.
Mathieu, good morning. That's 0.7 of a second quicker than Hayden Padden there. Tell me, how are you feeling heading to this final round of what's been an amazing season?
Yeah, I feel really nice. I want to enjoy the maximum I can this last race of the year. For sure, for the title will be difficult, but just try to enjoy, to have a good pay to finish this year. And for the quali, I think it's nice because if we can be on the top 3 to open the road, it's nice because I think the cut will be really well, a lot of mud deep, sorry. So this is my strategy, let's say.
So that's the strategy from Franceschi. What he's got to watch out for as well, even though the title, as he said, you know, he hasn't got a hold on what can happen with the title. He has to wait and see, do his best, see if anything happens with Hayden. But he's got to watch his second position in the championship because this man, Maric, could still take second position away from Franceschi.
Yes, so we were speaking about having the good rhythm during this race.
Yep.
For Franceschi, I guess it's not so much questions. Go flat out. Like he said, enjoy, get the smile at the end of each stage. It will be a good sign. Usually when you are smiling at the end of the stage, it means that you have been doing a great time. I wanted to come back on Padden. He's not in a position that is easy. We have been living that with Sabogier. Sometimes you have a big gap in front of you. You are first leading the rally or leading the championship. And when you don't push flat out on those cars, it's even more difficult to drive them. Those cars are made to be brutal, let's say.
Yeah, you need to be at that rhythm where you're happy, otherwise mistakes start to creep in, and we see it time and time again with our drivers. Andrea Mabellini now and Virgi Lenzi are off to a good start. Maric comes through. He just completed with a 1:44.3, second fastest for Miko.
Miko, good morning. That's second quickest. You've won this rally twice before. Tell me, where is the ideal position on the road tomorrow?
I would say second, third, fourth, something like that. Quite close to the front, in my opinion, and I appreciate that we welcome ERC on our Polish tarmac stages. I think guys will enjoy the tarmac, but it's very mixed, it's tricky, and I hope me and other Polish guys will show proper competition level.
Yeah, well, we are very glad to be here at Rally Silesia for this final round, Miko. And as he mentioned, we talked about it earlier, 2 wins under his belt, Maric, at this rally, so he knows what to do. He understands the conditions and the stages. For everyone else, it's going to be a bit of a learning weekend.
Yes, and we will have time to discover, and I give a bit of a suspense during the first days of the rally, just a time for all of us to witness how the conditions are. But I went into the stages myself, and I can tell you it's gonna be something. Very bumpy, sometimes very dirty, many anti-cuts, narrow, wide. You will have to face up the conditions, and I guess the setup tire, the setup choice will be quite difficult because within the same stage you will have all the conditions, basically.
Looking forward to that. Now, for Andrea Mabellini and Virgi Lenzi, they took their first ever ERC podium at the last event at Rally Ceredigion. Can they follow it up with another here? That's the big question. Simone Tempestini now with Francesca Meyer alongside him this weekend. Francesca, of course, normally alongside her brother Norbert Meyer. We've seen them in the Junior Championship this year in the WRC. Our Junior Champion winners from last year, of course, in ERC. Let's hear from Andrea Mabellini.
Andrea, good morning. Second quickest through there, just a couple of tenths off the fastest time. How did it feel?
Yeah, it feels great, to be honest, and yeah, let's hope this year a little bit of more lucky in Poland, because in the previous years was not so lucky for us. In the first time with the Rally 5 was like more punctures than stage done. Second year more drive shafts than days done, and yes, last year was a roll. So let's see this race what can bring us, but yeah, we really like it, so we're looking forward for it.
Well, Poland's been pretty dramatic for Andrea Mabellini over the years then, hasn't it? From that description. We just saw a little slide. We're going to have a look at it again.
Yes, it was very, very wide here. We were witnessing that from Tempestini, way too wide, and he has been lucky to keep the right side of the car on the tarmac. Otherwise, you can slide and finish like Philippe Allen actually in the ditch.
Yeah, you know, we've talking about ditches, we've had a lot of comparisons from the drivers with regards to this rally. A few of them picking out, you know, similarities to the Barum rally in the Czech Republic and also similarities to the Ypres rally in Belgium as well, especially with regard to some of the ditches alongside the roads.
Yeah, they are not kidding. Those you don't have to mess with them. Many junctions, quite fast roads, bumpy roads. For sure, it makes a good mix in between, like you said, Barum and Ypres. The weather conditions might remain like what we are having right now. So that's the good points. I think we're gonna witness a great battle because once you have tire choice that is more or less the same for everyone, let's go for it. And I remember that our last event with Seb in Monza was this kind.
Let's hear from Simone.
Simone, fifth quickest through there, but the times are really, really close. How was this qualifying run?
Times are close. Yes, it's a nice stage. It's not very difficult, but now it's already dirt in many places, and you have to take care there. But yeah, we enjoyed. Everything is good.
Really keen to see Simone Tempestini's pace again on tarmac. See how he'll fare on the final round. Remember, he was our winner from the first round of the season back in Rally Hungary. What will we see here from him on the final round? John Armstrong now then is who we're watching. I think, you know, for everybody who's watching this qualifying session now, and just to remind you, Franceschi is leading the qualifying session. He is fastest through. Then it's Mabellini, Maric, Padden, Tempestini. As Julian Ingrassia said, maybe not as representative, certainly as the stages we're going to see out there this weekend. It does sound as if it's going to be a thrilling final round to the year with what you've described alone, Julian.
Definitely, I've been going through stage 3 and 4 actually, and I was really, really impressed. I don't know actually what will be the best position on the road, because you will find some very thin layer of dust or gravel sometimes. And of course, when you take the cuts, it will throw a lot of dirt also on the road. So I don't know if first, second, third, what will be the best position.
Very good. Around where Hayden was.
So time for Armstrong then is fifth fastest through with a 1:44.7. Still Franceschi who is fastest. Could that man change it though? Will he want to be first on the road? Johan Bonato rejoining the ERC back in competitive action. Let's hear from John and we'll come back to Bonato.
John, good morning. Fifth quickest through there. Tell me, with working with a sort of Polish team, have you been able to get any local tips for this rally?
First of all, I'll say dzień dobry. Hello to everyone in Poland. Yeah, it's you know, I've worked with M-Sport Poland a lot over the years, so it's really good to be rallied here, so close to where their factory is, to Krakow. Yeah, that time actually is really good, so we're happy with that. We made some changes, and the last run I done in wets, and this was like a gamble to go on the plus, which would be better for the rally. So I'm glad to see now we're close to the base, so let's give it some big sense now, keep the right foot in her.
As well as some Polish, we're getting some proper rallying phrases from Ireland, from John Armstrong there. Let's talk about Johan Bonato, because he's coming back after recovery, after an incident. And I think, you know, Johan Bonato on tarmac, as we know, is incredibly strong. But coming to an event such as this, how do you feel he's going to do this weekend? What do you think the plan is going to be from Bonato?
I don't know actually, because already when he came back in France at Rally Mont Blanc, I was there, and he did not manage to win this event, but for sure he was just coming back and he was happy to be still in the pace. And I asked him if he was still suffering because he had some broken ribs. And we know that can be really painful, especially when you are inside the car, but he said that it was only on the road section and when he was training that he was a bit suffering. But yeah, you see that I feel that he's missing a little bit those last weeks since he had this big, huge crash in France in July. Yeah,
it does. You know, it can. Some drivers can really bounce back from it, forget it, but it can take a while for others, and it's all different, isn't it? Let's find out how he's feeling anyway. This is Johan Bonato.
Johan, good morning. It's fantastic to see you back in the ERC. First of all, how are you? And how was the feeling in the car?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. The shakedown was a good pre-event, we can say, because for sure the rally will be difficult. The test was difficult enough, so we expect for a nice rally, but difficult one.
Yeah, it certainly will be difficult. We're looking forward to every single kilometre of it, which will be broadcast live across all live. Marian Evans now and Jonathan Jackson. It's great to see them here in Poland. We were at, of course, Marian's home event at Rally Ceredigion just a few weeks ago. But now this will be the second ERC event for him of the season.
Was it planned to come here, or is it?
In the last few weeks, yes. it definitely wasn't on the cards originally, but they're with MRF, and I think it's going to be an interesting weekend ahead.
Touch on the rear left, and it can be a broken rim with a slow puncture that is not really important here to come back to the finish line. But look, I think the wheel is a bit.
He might have
moving now. I think it has been quite a
hard hit.
Contact.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it at the stop line, see if he's done any damage, because he did hit that quite. It looks okay at the moment, at least. But yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. You know, the combination of this car now, the Toyota, with Marian and with MRF as well. I think an interesting combination to see throughout the whole weekend.
Yeah, we can see that he's just turning the wheel to be sure that the car is still going straight. But we're gonna have the answer soon.
Yeah, let's take a
look.
it looks like he's just grazed it. Then
yeah,
he's lucky.
Lucky one, because it was still an impact.
Now for Jakub Maltulka, the step up rally to machinery. This is going to be definitely
What's happened?
a big
Wide
weekend.
on the right and just out there on the main road, just clipped the wheel. So I was a bit worried of a puncture at the end, but we took a harder time all for the rest of the rally than this. So yeah, maybe paid the price now, but hopefully it'll come back to us.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it all goes this weekend. He's a talented driver, Mr. Evans, and it is great to see him outside of the confines of Rally Ceredigion. We're delighted to have him on board here for the final round. As you mentioned, Jakub Maltulka now, who, you know, when you are stepping up in categories and you are heading towards, you know, your dreams, moving on up in classes. I mean, we've seen certainly him in the Rally 2 this year, in the Rally 3 earlier on this year. So it's been a mix of both the cars, but now, you know, at his home event, it's that extra pressure, isn't it?
Yes, and I wanted to say, once you try it, once you taste it, you are addicted.
Yeah.
So, it's difficult to go back on a smaller car. That is great for sure, but yeah, we know how it is. Yeah, extra pressure on our home events, we know how it is, and we spoke many times where if we have to speak about WRC, that's Seb Hub had his event in Alsace. Seb Augier had the service park based in Gap, his home city. For sure, you want to make it great. You know a bit more the ground. The feeling is different.
Yeah, it's not a bad time on the board from Matulka. 8th fastest is still Franceschi, who is going to be first on the road, whether he wants to be or not right now, unless someone else decides they want to be a little bit faster than that. Let's hear from Jakub.
Jakub, good morning. That's 8th quickest through there. How was the qualifying run?
Yeah, it was okay. It was quite dirty, but okay. Let's see. Nice stage today, and even nicer stages tomorrow.
Yeah. Did they not have time to stick the stickers on the car? to put the stickers on the car?
Yeah, maybe there's a little bit of a story here, but I tell you who will be happy to see this car, and that is Julian Porter, who loves an all-white livery. So he would be very happy with that. Yeah, Yaroslav Kultan is who we're watching right now. The weather is also going to throw in a big factor this weekend, because the forecast at the moment, we had a bit of rain overnight. You can see obviously it's a little bit muddy in stretches on this qualifying stage. Tomorrow looks okay, and then Sunday rain. But even though there's no forecast of rain tomorrow, it's quite cold today, you know? It still could be very cold in the mornings, a little bit of dampness maybe on the stages. Tyre choice could be difficult.
Yes,
Julian, for the first lead.
when you will be under the trees, under cover, for sure it will remain damp. You have a lot of bumpy parts. You have a bit of gravel also, of light gravel on some sections. You have a very short section of gravel into stage 3 also. That is something like 700 meters. I would say that in the morning, for sure, the soft compounds might be efficient. In the afternoon, it will be the question mark. Also, we have a lot of anti-cut poles that are set inside the stages, onto the stages.
And maybe Phillip Allen, you know, after his incident in free practice earlier on, which was on this stage, obviously this is the same stage that was used, Phillip went off earlier on into a ditch. He definitely needs the anti-cuts.
Yaroslav, home rally here in the ERC. How are you feeling ahead of this weekend?
Home rally. I am quite close with that area. Of course, I am living in Warsaw, but here on area Katowice, I have plenty of other companies and businesses. So yes, for me, it's really nice time.
You know, we're talking about tyres, and we mustn't forget that we do have a tyre battle as well, which will be resolved this year. The championship standings in the tyre suppliers championship is Michelin leading at the moment over Pirelli, and it's very, very close in terms of points between them. So that is going to be decided here this weekend. Will it be Michelin? Will it be Pirelli?
Yes, and we know that those teams can help for sure. The crews.
Oh,
and Phillip definitely not going to make it. Wow.
That was a huge slide there. The back end straight off the road then for Phillip Allen. That's the second off now on this stage.
Trying to start again the engine, but unfortunately for him, there is a tree behind the car. He cannot move backwards.
That could be his, qualifying over, unfortunately. Let's take a look at it. He gets caught out on the mud there.
Yeah, he put himself, the rear right wheel on the mud at the braking right now. He lost the rear and finito. Jump into the ditch, and unfortunately for him, there is a tree just behind his back. He cannot move backward and maybe try to find an escape road, I would say.
He's wedged.
He's stuck.
Yeah, properly stuck there. That is so disappointing for Phillip Allen. Craig Drew in the co-driving seat for him.
Because I'm sure the car is still in one piece, I would say, or not so many big damages. He had time to brake sideways and to lose to get the speed, I would say. Well, the competition is still going on. I have to be careful on this corner just to be sure that there is no other accident on top of that, I would say.
Yeah, hopefully I think the marshal was just making a little bit of a hand gesture there.
Yeah, and they have to be a bit more significant than that, I guess, because the place where they had the accident is quite a fast place, but yeah, now I think it's on its way. It was before that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, for Phillip Allen, we've got 2 days of competition. He's had 2 offs today, so maybe that's it now. Maybe there's no more offs for him this weekend. Let's say it like that, shall we? There is the car. You can see the mud straight across the road there. So, as Julian Ingrassia said alongside me, he was caught out by putting the rear wheel on the mud on the right-hand side, which then sent him across the other side of the road and then ultimately off onto the right. And he's managed to wedge the car. There's a tree just right behind him, so reverse not possible.
Yes, really unlucky. I wanted to say, I don't know in which mental condition he was approaching this stage after crashing at the first loop.
Yeah. I mean, he did go off on the first loop of free practice, Phillip Allen. I think he did manage to get another run in before a clean run, obviously before that's happened, but. He's nothing if not dramatic, that man. I'll give him that. We do love his character, but I'm disappointed for him that he's not had a good crack of the whip here in terms of qualifying. But Amaury Moll now has completed. Let's give you some qualifying stage times then. For Amaury, it is a 1:53.1. It's the slowest time on the board so far in qualifying. It's still Matteo Franceschi who is leading. Now, this man was second fastest in free practice earlier on, so let's see how he does, whether he actually wants to be first on the road.
Amaury, welcome back to the ERC. How is it to be back in the car and competing again?
Yeah, good morning. It's been good, really, at the test. On Wednesday, it was good to be back and even more here at the start today. So looking forward to the event. Just go ahead and see how I feel in the car. The pain is not there, so it's fine. So it was good quali. Just only Philippe Padden, it went out of the road and we lost the time. So I don't know if the time will be recalculated or not, but I had to slow down anyway.
Okay, there we go.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Safety first, and you can push for a good. This braking where Philippe Padden went off. We can see the mud.
Yeah, you can see just Craig Drew there at the side, just alerting everyone to the fact that the car is there.
So in this situation, the stewards could try to take the times that have been done, that have been set previously during the qualifying, the pre-practice. Sorry. But difficult to
work it all out. Okay, let's have a look at Yaroslav's time then. It is slower than the fastest, 1.7 seconds slower than Franceschi, which is a 1:46.1. Puts him 10th fastest out of a total of 12 drivers who have completed so far. Fantastic to have Gregor Grzyb back with us.
Oh, a bit wide on the first corner also.
And we wait to hear from Yaroslav. Let's cross over to Pete Mackay, who's there for us.
Yaroslav, good morning. Safely through qualifying. How was the run?
Yeah, it was okay, but there was some crew on the stage, so it was, not comfortable to see someone who is on the stage. So on this corner we were a little bit slower, so but it started, no problem.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the same now for the rest of the crews that come through. Just a little note as well, if you are new to rallying, you're coming in, you're watching qualifying now. We saw co-driver Craig Drew just a little bit further up the road from the incident. You didn't have to do that many times in your career, Julien Ingrassia, because Sebastian Ogier really didn't go off that much. So you haven't got a huge amount of experience of doing that, but that is your standard procedure. Co-driver has to go a few hundred meters up the road, make sure he puts warning to the crews behind. You can't really tell me much about it because you don't know much about it, do you?
Come on, I still had to do it, and this is part of running. You learn that also at one point. But like you said, I've been lucky. We said this is one of the best ratio.
Whoa. Heavy on the brake.
Okay. But yes, for sure, you need absolutely to avoid another accident on top of the one you just created. So the procedure is always the same. Yeah, you go a bit into the stage, you put the triangle, and you try to make the next cruise losing the less time possible, of course, but being safe first is a rule. Then once you have done your duty, as a co-driver, my task was also to find a group of spectators that could offer me some drinks and food.
I like that. Let's hear from Gregor.
Gregor, welcome back to the ERC. Great to see you back in a new car as well. How are you enjoying it?
For sure, that is very nice for us that we can fight there and the new car. But non-stop I teach something and learn something, and I'm not happy for this moment. We have problem with Popov. He opened a few times on the stage. We lose the time. I hope that we fix it, and tomorrow or today evening we will be more faster than compared to guys. Thank you very much.
We have a kind of a wire that is just bouncing there and there in the car Byskiniewicz.
Well pronounced. I had my phonetic pronunciation ready to go there, but he's beaten me to it. Byskiniewicz.
I'm cheating because you teach me how to say it.
He stole my glory, everyone. Julian Ingrassia stole my glory.
I really have no respect. Sorry. But I was saying that just in front of us, we can see on the camera that this wire. And I was saying to myself, whoa, he doesn't have the pace of his co-driver. This is not plugged onto his helmet. But I guess this is a spare wire that you can access during the stage. You know, as a crew, you need to think about this event. If in case you don't have any more connection in between the driver and the co-driver, you have a spare wire that you can plug quite quickly and hopefully get the pace net.
Time for Lukáš then, as you can see, 3.1 seconds off the pace at the front, which still is held by Matthew Franceschi. Let's head out to the stop control then. Pete Mackay is the man with the microphone for us at the end of the qualifying stage. Let's hear from Lukáš.
Lukáš, good morning. How was qualifying?
Oh, it not was good for us. The stage is not representative for the whole rally. I feel much better on the bumpy roads, and now there was a crash in front of us, and we have to be slower on the last 3 corners. There was a lot of mud on the braking, but it's very good for us. It's a big rally, a lot of stages for us. We kept competing first time in European Championship on gravel, so we can. I think it will be good rally for us.
He sounds like a confident man, doesn't he? Absolutely. But as he said,
good spirit.
Not so representative here, but we look forward to getting out to the stages of cross throughout tomorrow, but we do have a stage for you this evening. Let's take a look then at the classifications as they stand right now, with Franceschi with the fastest time through in qualifying, a 1:43.9. Mabellini was just 0.2 of a second behind that time, then Maric, then Padden, Armstrong and Tempestini, then Bonato and Seja. Then Matulka, Colton, Grzyb, Byskiniewicz, Evans and Moll to the top 14 through the qualifying stage. A huge weekend then in prospect and lots to be decided. The Drivers' Championship, the main one, of course, the title battle between Hayden Padden and Matthew Franceschi is what we will, of course, be watching. And the battle between Franceschi and Maric, essentially, for that second spot as well in the Drivers' Championship. It all comes down to the final round, which is great to see. But Hayden Padden starts the weekend, as he said, with a no-risk strategy. His in-it-or-bin-it rally was Rally Ceredigion, where he was all in there. And another major championship to be decided, of course, the Tyre Supplier Championship, with Michelin ahead of Pirelli here. And that will be fought out on the stages in Poland. Right, so what have we got coming up this weekend then? Let's take a look at the schedule for you. We will be back on air this evening from 7 o'clock local time with a little bit of flavour of the ceremonial start, which Mr. Ingrassia is going to be hosting for us, and then a fabulous super special stage. Saturday and Sunday morning, we're on air at 8:45 in the morning to bring you all the action from the final round of the ERC for 2024. So that's it from qualifying. We'll catch you later on this evening. From myself, Bex Williams, and Julian Ingrassia, we'll see you later.